Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Alistair and this is the Lululemon Wildfeel. This is really Lululemon's first jump into the trail running scene. They have kind of been doing some road to trail running shoes, but this one right here is an all mountain trail running shoe. So in theory, it should be able to handle pretty much any trail you throw at it. Thank you Lululemon for sending me a pair to review. Now, although Lululemon does market these as high performance trail running shoes, in my experience of running in them, they're more kind of cruiser all mountain trail running shoes. So not really the shoes that you would take to compete at a trail running race as such. Sure, you could give it a go, but they just feel better when you just take it easy and just want a nice cruiser running shoe to feel the trails. All in all though, this is a damn good entry into the trail running scene from Lululemon, and I can't wait to tell you all about them. Let's get to it. Starting with the key specifications, they cost $168 from lululemon.com. I'll put a link in the description so you can go check out the product page. I will also let you know by the end of this review if I believe they're worth that price tag. They weigh 12.1 ounces or 343 grams, and that's for size US men's 9, my pair. Now that's not the lightest all mountain trail running shoes by any means, but to be honest, you don't really feel that weight on the run. They have a 7.5mm drop from heel to toe. The upper is using this one-piece sock-like fit design, and it really is super comfortable to slip on. I love the way it just conforms to your foot. Very soft on the inside because it uses Lululemon's Nulu patented technology, which is just super soft. And it also has TPU overlays, which you can see here along the toe box, which provides extra durability, but also makes them splash proof, so water won't enter the shoe around this region. The midsole is using a dual density foam, which basically means you're gonna get nice soft landings from it, but also very propulsive or responsive toe takeoffs. So best of both worlds really. That's nothing new. Lots of trail running shoes and road running shoes for that matter are using this technology for very good reason. It works really well. And then the outsole is using high abrasion rubber compound, which also has multi-directional lugs on there, featuring soft curved chevron lugs, pointing more forwards at the front to help when you're climbing up steep climbs. And then they go the other way, point in reverse, for when you're going down steep declines. And that's really good, it just catches you, making sure you don't slip when you are running down steep hills. Some extra features include a nice toe bumper here, very reminiscent of the Nike Pegasus Trail 5, if you're familiar with that shoe. Works really well, gives good protection at the front and just at the sides of the front, but not so much on the top. And it's being tuned to male feet. So whether or not that's going to benefit males or men out there, well, that's yet to be seen, to be honest. It just feels like a nice comfortable shoe to me. I don't feel like it's being tuned particularly anatomically to my foot because I'm a man, but there you go. If you are looking at this review because you're interested in the women's version as well, the same thing has been done for women's feet as well. So Lululemon has done scans of, I think it's thousands of women's feet, and what that means is they've basically been able to take an average or an interpolation of that data to try and get a shoe or a last within the shoe that makes it fit better for women's feet. When it comes to sizing and fit, the Lululemon Wildfeel does fit true to size in length, and I'd say it's got an average width overall, but the midfoot area is definitely narrow. So if you have particularly wide feet and you know that to be the case, then I'm not sure if these are going to fit that well for you. I recommend trying to find a Lululemon store and trying them on if you can, just to be sure. The upper is a total dream to slip on. It's very comfortable, and because it is sock-like and it has lots of stretch, it's made of knit. When you put your foot in there, it just kind of wraps around your foot in a really comforting way. You've also got some nice padding on the inside of the collars and at the rear, the heel counter. And what that does is help to lock your foot in place a little bit better than if it wasn't there, and it just makes it feel more comfortable. And you can see here there is also a built-in gaiter. That works pretty well as well, helps keep trail debris out of the shoe, and I think it looks really nice as well. One thing to note though is there's not a huge amount of support in this upper. It is all incredibly flexible. So if you are someone who does need more support in your trail running shoes, you want some kind of structure in your upper to help keep your foot in place or locked into the shoe, then this doesn't have that. It's a very different fit, and to be honest, it feels very different to a lot of trail running shoes that I reviewed. Also on that topic, heel lockdown is not that great in these shoes, to be honest. I did have to opt for a racer's loop heel lock method lacing setup. If you haven't got a clue what that means, that just went straight over your head, then definitely follow that link up there. I demonstrate how to do that. So if you do have narrow heels, or if you've got a pair of shoes where your heel just slips out when you're running or walking, then Racer's Loop heel lock method will help sort that out for you. And it really did for this as well. It made lockdown so much better. It took it from around about 6.5 out of 10 to maybe an 8.5 out of 10 heel lock. So much, much better. If you're enjoying this review so far, please give the video a like and comment on this video. I love it when you guys do that. It's really nice to get to know some of you better. Plus, I really want to build this channel into being more of a community. I want to get all of you guys' input on shoes that I'm reviewing. Maybe you've worn them as well. If that is the case, let me know what you thought of this shoe or other shoes in my other reviews. All that information, if it gets stored in the comments, all the future viewers of this channel or subscribers of my channel get to read all that, and they're going to get a much bigger, broader picture of what the running shoes are like. So thank you in advance for doing that. If you haven't worn the shoes that I'm currently reviewing, just say hello, introduce yourself, let me know where you're from, let me know what kind of running you like to do, and let's just get this conversation going. Go and comment. And of course, subscribe to my channel. I always keep my reviews genuine, honest, and as insightful as possible to help you decide whether or not the shoes I'm currently reviewing are going to be best for you and your needs. But if at any point you've got a question, just let me know in the comments down below. I always reply to every comment. And don't forget to hit that notification bell. That'll let you know as soon as new videos drop. And if you're wondering where the Lululemon Wildfeel enters my best all mountain trail running shoes roundup on alistairrunning.com, then definitely follow that link. I'll also put it in the description down below. But that shares my top 10 best all mountain trail running shoes at any given time. So if you're watching this video in the future, check out that list. Maybe this shoe isn't on this list by the time you're watching this video. Either way, check it out and that'll point you in the right direction for the best all mountain trail running shoes. Okay, time to give you my performance insights. The Wildfeel is an all mountain trail running shoe, but Lululemon does kind of position it as a performance trail running shoe, and to be fair, it does perform exceptionally well, but it's not really a trail running shoe for running really, really fast or trying to outcompete people out there on a trail race. Sure, it is quite a fast shoe, but it's just not that nimble. It doesn't have all the ingredients to make it a racing shoe as such. But it does perform very well in all mountain terrains. Let me explain. It cruises absolutely beautifully. The midsole is incredibly well balanced, meaning it is nicely cushioned. It's got kind of a firm ride. It's not plush by any means. It's more firm, but it's got that protective cushioning. So it's a little bit soft underfoot, but not so soft that you don't have response. The dual density midsole foam does a really good job of protecting your feet when you do land on your stride. And then the transition as you get to the toe part of your stride, the toe off has actually a really nice amount of pop, making it nice and springy, responsive, and snappy. That said, it's not perfect because of this knit one-piece sock-like upper. Let me try and explain this, hopefully it's going to make sense, but if it doesn't, just let me know in the comments. Something I found with it is I was losing a very small amount of energy when climbing up steep hills or running fast on flats. What I experienced was the fact that when I was kind of toeing off my stride, because this knit like upper is so stretchy, the top of your foot kind of moves away from the shoe. So it's not like it slips or your heel slips out of the shoe at that point. It's literally your whole foot pulls away from the midsole ever so slightly. Now, you had to be very astute to notice this, but I did notice it. And you really do have to do the laces up really quite tight to ensure you don't have that experience. It's really not that big, it's just something I noticed and something I don't notice on other running shoes. But like I said, make sure you do racer's loop heel lock method and do your laces up tight around this section, and then you won't be stretching away from the midsole and your heel won't be slipping out the shoe. Problem solved. Now at 12.1 ounces, this is not a lightweight trail running shoe. It's actually on the heavier side when you compare it to other trail running shoes in the same category. But it doesn't feel that heavy on the run. Very lightweight runners are going to notice it more than average weight runners or heavier runners for that matter. So something to be aware of if you know you're a very lightweight runner and you perform better with a very lightweight trail running shoe, then these probably aren't going to be for you. They would also be a lot snappier and responsive and just faster, more nimble if they were lighter too. The outsole traction has been fantastic. I've been running in the wet in these and on quite a big variety of trails actually, and I haven't had any slips. It's had my back, giving me complete control and confidence on the trails, allowing me to throw myself down steep hills and push hard on climbs. And the lugs are deep enough to handle most types of terrain out there. The upper isn't the most breathable either, so if you are going to be running in very hot, humid conditions, you might notice that. But if you are running somewhere a bit cooler, maybe you're somewhere mountainous, or you are running on shoulder seasons, then you're not going to notice the fact it's not that breathable. And actually the fact the mesh in the upper does have quite a tight knit, meaning it's less breathable, it does keep trail debris out of the shoe. And that's made even better by this gaiter because it stops debris getting in around your ankles and heel. So pros and cons for sure, but something for you to think about. And then finally, I've actually been wearing this as a bit of a lifestyle shoe as well, because I like how it looks. I don't know, let me know in the comments down below, what do you think of how this shoe looks? I think it's pretty streamlined, there's a lot going on, and I think they've done a great job with design. It actually performs really well for walking as well, because there is a nice amount of protection underfoot, but also it's responsive and the upper is just so comfortable. It just makes wearing it all day long feel very good. Is the Lululemon Wildfeel worth $168 then? Well, $168, it's slightly on the high end for an all-mountain trail running shoe, but Lululemon has done a really stellar job at entering the all-mountain trail running scene with the Wildfeel. It does actually perform really well, and actually a lot better than I was expecting, to be honest, because of this structureless upper. It actually wasn't that bad as soon as I changed the lacing setup to the racer's loop heel lock method. And then actually it was more stable than I was expecting it to be. Maybe it's these sections on the midsole that kind of cradle your foot within the shoe. I'm not sure, but it actually performed really well. And I'm gonna have to say, it is worth $168. Lululemon is a premium brand, so it's always gonna be probably more expensive than the competition out there. So you gotta factor that in. And it is actually a very good shoe as well. This one right here, it's a prime example of a job done really, really well. I feel like Lululemon has done their research on this and created something quite special. It is just fantastic for cruising trails, and for those who don't really care about times, they just want to be out there feeling connected to the trail and just feeling the environment around them, enjoying being out there on the trails and enjoying nature. It's really for that sort of person who just wants a nice comfortable ride that cruises trails really well, got their back, gives them confidence on the trails and allows them just to have fun out there. That's really where the Wildfeel performs the best for me. Well, that's it from me. I really hope you enjoyed this Lululemon Wildfeel review. If you did, give the video a like, remember to comment and subscribe to this channel for more running shoe reviews just like this one. Thanks again for watching and I'll see you next time. Peace.